Hey, Sabaz here. Today I want to talk about a very, very important concept when it comes to pricing and selling your services, and that is the opportunity cost. So, when we talk to a lot of entrepreneurs and we help them build their offers and the pricing and even having the confidence to price their services higher, we talk about this topic a lot of opportunity cost because it's sometimes forgotten. When you think about what should I price my service? Will they buy it? You might have a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, or maybe you don't. But if you have, especially if you have the doubt, let me tell you about opportunity cost. And even if you don't, opportunity cost will allow you usually to drive your prices even higher. Now, what are we talking about when we talk about opportunity cost? I'm sure you've heard the term before. So opportunity cost, let me just share this through an example, like a real example. So I used to sell a lot of brand strategy projects, and my brand consultancy was part of what we did. Usually those projects were priced at, let's say, 40,000 those euros, but let's more or less the US dollars, to 100,000, somewhere in between. And then after that, we would get like bigger chunks of work with bigger clients, which would be design or culture or building internal training or playbooks and culture work and all that kind of stuff that we did. But so when we were presenting these offers, typically myself as the founder, I was talking about, okay, well, the brand strategy part here, let's say it's going to be $50,000. And so then somebody would go like, oh, that's more than we budgeted, or some other BS, they come up with that. And then we'd be like, okay, that's cool. Now, let me ask you this. You mentioned before, now this is a very important thing I'm doing here, right? I'm going back to a conversation that we had as part of the sales process where I was able to understand the problem in the organization and the consequence, the meaning or the pain inside the organization. So let's say if they told me that, we're not clear really about who we are, and because of that, we're not really consistent in our decision making, or we're not clear about our positioning, we're not clear about our vision, and that is causing all these different problems. We're not aligned across silos. For example, marketing is kind of, they know what the brand is and no one else does. They don't even know what a brand is, these kinds of things. So let's say a conversation like that took place, which happened many, many times. Then I'd go back and say, let me just ask you this. What is your turnover? If I didn't know it, I'd ask for something like that. I want to have a number that I can play with. Okay, so maybe they're doing 100 million. Maybe they're doing a billion, but let's say 100 million. So let me ask you this though, prospect. What do you think is the cost in terms of money, but also the pain, but let's focus on money here, of you not having that clarity right now? And then you can help them because they maybe haven't thought of it this way. I help them by diving into it. Saying like, let's say you make about 10 million in sales per month, right? Well, if all the people in your 100 million organization, they are making these decisions daily. And if they're not making them, these decisions based on absolute clarity in terms of who you are, which are decisions that are on brand, that are like going in the right direction versus off direction, versus the scenario where they don't make a decision at all, which is very common, how much do you think that might be costing you? And then you go into that rabbit hole with them and let them really feel it. Let them really sense that, okay, well, maybe we haven't thought about this before, but actually there was this moment last year when we didn't do this project because we couldn't agree on who we are, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And at some point you can get to what I call put a number on it. And putting a number on it just means, whichever way that you can get them to blurt out a number, a cost, an opportunity cost, whether it's accurate or not, the thing is they have to believe it. So for example, if they make 100 million in sales, and if you can ask them and prompt them for like some sort of, give me something, like what do you think it might cost you if you didn't do that project, if people are launching the wrong product lines, or whatever it is. What does it cost? Maybe let's say it's 3 million it's costing them. It's only true if they believe it's true. And now you contrast your offer, 50K, back to the 3 million. What you've done is called price anchoring. You're anchoring the price in the opportunity cost. It's very simple. There are many, many ways you can do this, and it's usually a pretty simple conversation. The thing is, you have to bring it to their awareness, and you have to make them feel it, and so that it's true for them. So they go, well, maybe we haven't thought about it this way. And now you go back to your offer and you position your offer and you really make it clear how you can solve the problem and help them, reclaim that money that should be theirs. Anyways, hope that helps. These are all ideas that we implement with our clients. If you need help, we have many different programs, from one-to-one, VIP level treatment, where we go a little bit more custom with you, spend time with you directly, or we have a lot of great productized service offerings. You can find them at thesimplecompany.com. If you wish to speak to us, go to thesimplecompany.com/meeting. Thanks so much for listening. Like, share, all that good thing. I'll be back with more value videos soon. Okay, good. That was video number 1. I'm going to do the other one, which is about stacking value. Stacking value is putting one piece of value on top of the other. Okay. Hey, Tobias here, back with more simple ideas for growth. And today I want to talk about stacking value. Now, what does that mean? Stacking value. Well, let me talk about it from the perspective of how I've been doing it with my clients, whether they've been billion-dollar companies or plus, or smaller entrepreneurs. I use a framework, and it really comes back to the insights that you have about your customers or your clients. And so first of all, when you stack value, you're adding different layers of value. That's how I define it. So instead of saying, hey, here my widget does A, you're doing it does A so that you can also have B, and also you can become C, or you can have benefit F, right? So very simple. Now let's explore how this can work. The way I do it, I use a framework that I developed many, many years ago in my brand consulting days. And it's really, not to go too deep into it right now, I'll do that in a separate video. It's really about figuring out a few things about the ideal customer, that you should know. And that is, what do they really want? Other than the process, going like, I want it to be fast or whatever, like that's a how question. I want to know, what's the outcome you're looking for? What is the outcome? I call it the what. I want to understand how they like to get there, what they want to avoid, what they hate. Is this taking too much time? This is confusing. This makes me feel stupid. Whatever it is, you have to really dive deep into that. We have a framework. We teach how to do that if you're interested. So I want to understand the what, the desired outcome. I want to understand the how. I want to understand the why related to everything. Why is that outcome important to you? I want to understand why are the different how stages, how they want to get there, because it's always a process of getting to a desired outcome. You want to map it. I want to understand everything that is going on there. A lot of value can be found in the how, a lot of innovation opportunities as well. I also want to understand who. I want to understand who they are, but often more importantly, who would they like to become? Who do they want to be seen as? So now we have the what, we have the why, we have the how, and we have the who. Now this gives us a framework that we can build on, because now when you're crafting your value proposition and figuring out the way to deliver that value, now you can actually think of these in different layers. So people not only want the outcome, the problem solved, which they do, very important. They want a better, different, way to get to that outcome. So now you can stack value not only at the what level, but also at the how level. And you can find a lot of different ways to do that, as I said. But also, let's not forget, you can do it at the why level. You could connect to a higher level why, a reason. So, what it looks like is like, hey, I'm going to help you achieve this because this is what you want, so that you can, have that, which is a deeper meaning-based thing, so that you can feel connected to this, so you could be closer to the loved ones, so that you could, whatever they said. And then also the highest level is identity, is the transformation. Some brands, even Nike, when you think about it, they not only, design and deliver great shoes and apparel and, equipment, all that, they do it in a way where people have a transformative experience, because the way they see themselves as Nike users might just shift who they are, who they want to be. I want to become a person that goes for it, that lives a healthy lifestyle. And if a brand like Nike can inspire and empower people to do that using their products or not, they will change and they will love Nike for it. So in essence, what I talked about here is stacking value, the importance of it, because you want to be seen as not only different, you want to be seen as the only viable choice in your space. And that space has to be niched, by the way, And so you want to be seen as the only choice. And the way to get there is not only to deliver what everyone else is doing, but doing it better, faster, more conveniently, whichever way you've chosen, but also do it in a way where you attach meaning so people feel more connection to it, and ultimately help them, get the transformation on the identity level. If you could hit all those levels and stack value, you're going to be the only choice. And I've actually researched this as I created this model and know this to be true. The brands that stack value, that hit these value different levels, they are the ones that the world loves. The Apples, the Nikes, and all the other, whatever, insert your favorite brand here. Hope that helps. If you'd like help with building this model out and creating an offering or a brand that stacks value through these frameworks, make sure you reach out to me. You can do that at hello@thesimplecompany.com or go to thesimplecompany.com/meeting, set up a call with us, and we'll talk about it. Take care. I'll be back with more videos.